y'all, it's my review for Married to Medicine, episode 14. This is the season finale. We've come to the end of I thought it was a great season. It did kind of decline after the quad saga, but I still thought, they picked it up with this, with the group trip. And yeah, I thought this finale was decent and very messy. But let's get into the episode. So we open and they are still in Hilton Head. We see a montage of everyone doing different activities. I'm assuming this is the last day for them in Hilton Head, and they all have a dinner later in the evening. But now we're with some of the ladies. It's Heavenly, Jackie, and Simone. They're talking to Alicia. Jackie is now getting in on the mess, asking Alicia, now what happened to the $150,000? Y'all know Dr. Jackie likes to talk like this. It's one of two things that happen to that money. It's in another account where he doesn't know, or she spent it. And I don't think she spent it. She looks like a black woman that's about her business. And Alicia's answer to that question is, we gotta check the account. I don't know. She says she hasn't bought anything for herself. It has to be the kids. Their kids are like both under the age of 5. I mean, maybe she opened up an account without his knowledge that's going towards their kids' education. And she knew that he would probably spend the money or wouldn't let her put that to the side. We cut to some of the other ladies' confessionals, and Jackie's asking, isn't that a felony? We cut to Heavenly's confessional, which is 100 times worse, saying that ain't he from Nigeria where they have whole families and they don't know about it? I mean, you say you don't suck D, I mean, someone's sucking it and there's money being spent on it. Really? Soon as I would see Heavenly after this season, it would be on site at the reunion if I was some of the other ladies. Like, she is just straight up disrespectful in her confessionals. And none of the other ladies' confessionals are nearly as mean as hers. So we see Heavenly telling the other ladies that her husband, Damon, actually has the same views as Alicia's husband. And I clocked that way in the beginning. I mean, I clocked that before Alicia's husband came into the picture, that Dr. Damon Daddy is a male chauvinist. Because, I mean, look at his wife and her 1950s values. She just says she's not as vocal about it, but we peeped that, sis. She says she has some of the same ideals as Dr. Alicia, that my man is my king, and I'll fabricate some things in our marriage for the greater good. Right. Delusional brainwashing. They're very conservative and patriarchal. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Dr. Heavenly was a Republican. Because, look, her views on gays, I'm still side-eyeing. They're not giving Alicia advice to hire somebody like a maid to do the cooking and the cleaning and just tell her to leave before he gets there so he would think that she's doing it. Anywho, later in the evening, next scene we see all the ladies getting ready for dinner. It's an aluminum theme, so think everyone's just dressing for the Renaissance tour. So they all arrive to the venue, they're having like an outside dinner. They're basically having a speech moment and just reflection over like 10 years of friendship, just celebrating the show, I guess. They can't say that. Basically, it's a clip show right now. We're getting a whole lot of flashbacks, like when ladies have been there for each other, when some of the marriages were in trouble, when they were fighting with each other. Unfortunately, we didn't get that season 1 brawl between Mariah and Toya, because, I mean, that's what really put the show on the map, if we're just being honest. But then Simone tells Dr. G, thank you for coming and trusting us that we wouldn't bring you no harm. I mean, they brought all the harm to his new wife, but that's besides the point. Again, I totally forgot Phaedra was there for a second. But she says that she notices how this group supports marriage. And she even says maybe her previous marriage would have went different had she been around this group of women. I'm trying to think, because some people, they need to be divorced. And, just because you stay in a marriage doesn't make you any stronger. Like, if you're in something toxic, you need to leave. Like, no matter how long they've been together. But I see what she means. She means it in like a positive way. Like, they really do rally around you, like making sure, like, girl, do you want to do this? I don't think there's nothing wrong with your group of friends saying, yeah, girl, you need to divorce him. He cheated on your ass. You're not happy. There's no badge or prize for enduring a bad marriage. As I said that, I see this clip of Heavenly and Damon talking, and Damon saying, it's a win for Satan every time a couple divorces. So then they're having a round table talk about marriages in general, and Simone's asking who at the table has verbally said, to their partner that they want a divorce. And, hands raised all across the table, Heavenly and Damon have their hands down. Like, they're not going to say anything bad about their marriage. Yeah, this discussion just always reminds me that this group is mostly Generation X, and they have those just old school values that was instilled to them by baby boomers. Like, I know there's some millennials at the table, but it's still just some outdated things I'm hearing as they're talking about marriage. Like, for the greater good, staying for the kids. No. My mom was getting cheated on left and right by my dad. Like, I'm glad she left when she did. I mean, looking back at it, just staying together in an unhappy marriage for my benefit, no. And I don't want to be resented either. We hear from Dr. Alicia that she almost divorced her husband. Sis, you should have did it. But look, she stayed because that's her king. Side note, every time I see this flashback of Simone and Cecil on the beach when they were like close to divorce, when Simone was yelling, "Come out right now! You have lost control!" I can't help but cackle. Okay, now they're just doing flashbacks to the earliest seasons. We can fast forward to this Met Gala they're doing. But before we get into the next scene, Heavenly does let the whole table know that the couple they've been moved by the most is Dr. Kima and Dr. Alicia, because Damon and Kima, she says, has the same type of standards and thought processes, and she actually appreciates Kima like capitulating those standards. And it just shows what type of person Heavenly is. She's the one who thinks women should be subservient to their men. She is proudly male identified. And then Dr. Damon speaks, which I forget he can. He says he absolutely agrees with Kima's views on a man's role and a woman's role. Here we go again with them saying he's just not vocal with it. Yeah, it's just like, Trump supporters, where it's like there's vocal Trump supporters, and then there's the ones that are like silent, and they just, they give their vote to the polls and not say anything. So they give a toast at the table, they spend the rest of the evening dancing, and that's the end of the cast trip. So next thing, the ladies are back in Atlanta. We get a little montage, and we see Phaedra walking into Dr. Jackie's office to meet her and Heavenly. Phaedra in this bob, I don't mind it. So then now they're discussing the Met Gala coming up, and it's obviously inspired by the Met Gala, and it's just a way to get all of the Black medical professionals together in the community. And it seems like all the ladies have their roles and they're contributing. And it's giving, if y'all watch Real Housewives of New York season 2, when they were all doing the charity event I think Jill was doing, and they had the step and repeats, and they were arguing with Bethany about it because she had like the bar or whatever. So then in another scene, we see Eugene and Toya headed to Simone's house. So we're going back and forth between scenes. So they're talking about the Met Gala as well. Toya brings it up, saying that she's getting 3 cases delivered from Kendall Jackson for the event. She feels like she shouldn't have to pay what the other ladies are paying, which is $1,000. Now, we cut to Simone's confessional. She's breaking it down that the cost of the Met Gala was divvied between all the ladies. So then Eugene and Toya are trying to make the case why she shouldn't have to pay $1,000. They're saying it's not a charity event. It's going to finance the party. So they're calculating how much the wine costs. I guess like it's $1,400 retail. So why would they also pay $1,000? What do y'all think? That's what I want to know, because I was talking to some of my friends who put on events or whatever, and they're saying that, Tacky Toya has reemerged. Yes, you can still pay the $1,000 as well as contribute the wine. That would be the expectation. I'm kind of leaning towards that. Now, from the way Simone is responding, it looks like she thinks Toya should have paid $1,000 too. Simone does speak up though and says it doesn't matter to her whether she pays or not, but Toya kind of feels some type of way because she feels Simone doesn't have her back on it. So we cut to the other ladies, and of course, it's Heavenly the one who is very vocal about Toya not contributing to the event. She said the wine does not count. We also found out that Phaedra is also contributing alcohol, but Phaedra also paid $1,000 too. And of course, Phaedra has something to say about it in her confessional. She said, well, you want to play tit for tat. I donated more champagne than you donated wine. And because I'm a boss, I still paid $1,000 too. I mean, so far, it's looking like Toya's being cheap. Like, she has the $1,000. And I'm wondering, did she get that wine discounted? You know? Like, it's kind of like she's getting more of a benefit than the other ladies. And it's not fair. But the way Heavenly's going about it, like, maybe they should have talked about this all together before the event. We're back to Toya and Simone, and Toya's saying that she is a team player, and Simone is like, well, Toya, and now Toya's trying to bring up the Napa trip and how she paid for that. Girl, this is a separate thing. Now, Toya, you know I be riding for you sometimes, but, you know, I thought you progressed from being tacky, Toya. This is a little tacky. We cut to Simone's confessional, and it does look like she feels some type of way about Toya not donating. She says she's not a team player, and not everyone drinks wine. Simone's also trying to tell her that you showcasing the wine benefits you, so you're not really contributing to the cost of the event. I think I get it now, hearing Simone's perspective. So next scene is the day of the Met Gala. We see all the ladies getting ready for it. Toya is talking to Anila. Anila will be at this event. Anila asks her, is Qua gonna be there? Toya's like, I don't know, isn't that your friend? Anila's like, that's not my friend. And Toya's like, oh, she's not your friend now? I mean, the way Quad threw Anila under the bus for accusing Toya of that home invasion, so wild. It's crazy to me how people give Quad passes for that. So I'm looking at this event, and this is just so Atlanta. And just take that how you will. So let's rate the look, shall we? Dr. Jackie, I like it. Lady in red, she looks good, and I love her hair like that. Now wait a minute, side note, time out. We see the bartender making drinks. Is that plastic cups at a formal event? Come on now. Like, y'all heard me say, this is definitely an Atlanta event. So next up is Toya, and I don't mind what she's wearing. She looks cute. Oh, we get a cameo from Anila. You know, I didn't mind Anila, and I wouldn't mind seeing her as like a friend of role. Here go Dr. Demon the dentist that's in a dress that's way too small for her, but you know, that corset is fighting for its life, I'm sure. Other than that, she looks good. I mean, she's still ugly as hell on the inside, but the exterior, it's okay. Next up is Simone, and I love this dress she's wearing. I like the shoe too. She looks good. Sweet Tea, she came to slay. Like, she is dressed for the Oscars. That train is just so exaggerated. I like it. She looks great. I would even say Sweet Tea is like best dressed contender. Dr. Alicia, I mean, it's given Vegas for some reason, and I don't really like that color on her. So then we see Toya setting up her wine station. Then we cut to Heavenly, whose nipples are spilling out of her dress, telling people that, oh yeah, don't drink Toya's wine. She didn't sponsor for this event. That is just so tacky on Heavenly's part. Just telling strangers about Toya's contribution. I get that she has a problem with it, but the way she's going about it is so wrong. Heavenly is so bothered by this. This is all she can talk about. She's like Anne-Marie with the esophagus talk. We're with Dr. Jackie talking, saying that Curtis couldn't make it because he's in the DR again. Yeah, I bet he is. He's in the DR in something. So then Toya comes up to Simone and Jackie saying that, you know, they ran out of glasses at this event because they love her wine so much. But the event promoter asked her to take down her marketing, and Toya refused. She said, well, this is free wine, so I'm leaving it up. I mean, but the free wine is promoting herself, and she did not contribute to the event. So, Toya, you're in the wrong, girl. Just write the check for $1,000. Okay, so Phaedra arrives, and she looks good. Like, I wouldn't have minded if she wore this to the reunion, but I knew it was like a flower theme. Yeah, I think my best dress was Sweet Tea for this event. She looked great. The dress was dramatic. Like, it's crazy that she looks better here than she did for the reunion. I mean, not only is Toya tacky, but this entire event is tacky. Am I the only one? Like, it just looks a little low budget. So Dr. Jackie's on the mic now talking about the event, giving her thank yous. Is everybody in here from the medical community? I don't know. Because brother in the back with the platinum blonde hair and the shades indoors, I don't know if he's a medical professional. So then Heavenly gets on the mic and she's thanking the sponsor. She starts with Dr. Jackie. Then she says the beautiful Simone. And I think Toya corrected her and said, it's Dr. Simone Whitmore actually. And it looks like Heavenly wanted to get Toya back in this moment. I'm not sure if it was editing, but then she lets the whole room know on the mic that Toya did not contribute anything to this event. She didn't sponsor anything. Why did production add that crowd soundbite of people saying, oh, clearly the audience didn't say that, but you do see by the faces the secondhand embarrassment. Why would you do that, Heavenly? Like, you know better than Toya. So now you're tacky as well. So now Toya's yelling at her and Heavenly still has the mic trying to embarrass Toya. I mean, this is right on brand for Heavenly, so no one should be surprised. So then we see Eugene pull Damon to the side because he's not going to check Heavenly. He wants to let him know that what his wife did wasn't cool. And you know how Heavenly is submissive to her daddy, so maybe by him telling her daddy like what she did was wrong, maybe daddy will check Heavenly. But Damon is just like, oh, well, that's just how she is. Oh, I don't know, don't do that. Damon tells Eugene that he has no issue with him. But I mean, it's your wife that just tried to embarrass my wife. Of course, I'm going to check you because I'm not going to check your wife. Now, if I was Toya, I would have been waiting outside for Heavenly. Or I probably would have snatched the mic out of her hand and we would have been fighting in front of everybody. You already tried to embarrass us. I'm going to embarrass us further. We're going to take it back to season 1 and fight in ball gowns. How about that? That's how we're going to celebrate our 10th anniversary. We cut to Dr. Demon the dentist and her chauvinist husband in their confessional. She's saying she absolutely thought it was the right place, right time. And Damon is just laughing. Heavenly's day is coming. Like her karma's gonna come back at her full force, and I'm waiting on it. And I just want to preface this. I do think Toya was in the wrong at first. Like, yes, it's tacky. Heavenly had every right to be mad, but what she did was tacky, ghetto, declassé to an event that already wasn't that classy. So the event's going along. We see the ladies take a group picture. Then outside, we see pulling up in a Maybach, making her grand return, her grand uninvited return. Who invited her? But it is none other than Quad. As she strolls in with her gay date. Clearly this man is gay, so why is she here? Why? She looks good though. These ladies had you fly across country just to tell your ass to go right back from whence you came. And now you just strolling in their event like nothing's going on. And I'm sure you haven't talked to them before this event. Quad walks in proud as hell, and Anila and Toya, they got the memo that Quad's coming in, and they actually pass her as she's walking in. They did not acknowledge each other. So it looks like Heavenly conveniently left as well, but Dr. Jackie is looking on like, why is she here? Like, for real, did production invite her? Who invited her? The self-awareness is on 0 for Quad right now. She's being so fake. And y'all, I'm glad to see Quad. It's just, it don't make sense why she's here. Her being at the reunion, that makes sense. Her being at this Met Gala with all the ladies that she did not end on good terms with does not make sense. Quad is being so fake. She sees Sweet Tea. Hey, baby, how you doing? Where your husband at? Tell him come over here. She is giving a full-on show right now. Dr. G, there he is. Hey. What? Ooh, and it is so awkward. Dr. G comes up, his ex-wife in front of him, his current wife by his side. So Dr. G speaks to Quad, shakes her hand, and then Quad, she takes it even further and asks Sweet Tea, you mind if I hug around his neck a little? And Sweet Tea says, well, you're gonna have to ask him. And then he says yes. She hugs him like ain't nothing happened. Like, it's just so awkward. Like, just saying a hello, a hi would have sufficed, but doing all these theatrics, it's like, why? Like, you're doing the most. It looks like nobody around her wanted to make a scene or ask her, why are you here? Or why are you asking me for a hug? It just seemed like everyone just wanted to go along with whatever she's doing. We cut to Quad's confessional, and she's just saying that she let all of this go and she can be happy. I think my problem with Quad is just all of this was just so inauthentic and theatrical. And I'm just beyond her antics. Like, she clearly did all of this for a moment. We then cut to Sweet Tea and Dr. G's confessional, and Dr. G says, well, if he never saw Quad again, he wouldn't mind that. So now we see Quad and Simone, they're having small talk, and I'm like, they haven't even talked their issues out. Simone was the one speaking on behalf of the group to get her ass back to Atlanta and out of Napa. According to Simone in her confessional, it looks like Quad didn't even talk to anybody after Napa, but now she just shows up here. She said she would have appreciated, oh, hey, let's have a conversation after Napa, but that never happened. So then later, Simone tells Quad that they're leaving, and then Quad's like, oh yeah, well, I'm leaving too, I'm going to another event. I'm sure you are. And it looks like Phaedra, Heavenly, and Toya, they all left, I guess, when Quad arrived. So the only people that was there was Sweet Tea, Jackie, and Simone. So later we see the event was a success, and now we're in Dr. Jackie's confessional, just doing the closing remarks. We don't have end cards for all of the ladies. That's the end of the episode. I mean, I thought this was a great season. I'd give it like a B+. The cast can stay the same. I would take off Dr. Alicia, of course, or demote her to a friend. Well, she was the friend of the show, never mind. Just take her off. Bring back Anila. I wouldn't mind seeing her. But yeah, y'all let me know if y'all was Team Toya or Team Heavenly or Team They're Both Tacky. With that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the reunion. Bye.